One and only Tone Vase, technical analyst of Bitcoin. We're going to talk about price and a little bit more, but first, Tone, what do you think about the show? How's your experience thus far compared to other Bitcoin conferences?
Yeah, this is the biggest and the craziest conference I've seen and experienced. And it's all that pent-up demand from COVID. And it's incredible, a little overwhelming with this many people. It's something else to see.
Yeah, absolutely. The last conference I actually went to, a Bitcoin conference, was your Unconfiscatable in Vegas. And there's a lot of familiar faces here, but so many more people and all these new companies and stuff. It's just crazy to see how much the space has grown in the last few years. What do you think about some of these companies entering in? Or do you see this as, a positive thing?
I do. This conference does focus on Bitcoin. I just came from another conference in Dubai, and you can't find the Bitcoin logo there. It's all about the altcoins. It's all about all kinds of crazy ideas and crazy projects. But this is good. This is very good for the space.
All right, so we had a correction just recently, earlier today, off of an Elon Musk tweet. But after this recent correction, Tone, you buying more Bitcoin at these levels? What do you think for the next 2 months?
I am. I've always seen this current bull market, this halving cycle, as having two big run-ups. And it was always hard to predict where they're going to top. Initially, I thought the first run-up was going to be at 45,000. Then I raised it to 55, then 65. Then I eventually raised it to 75. That's the one that I missed. But I always saw this first correction to be at least 40 to 60% in price. But I also saw it as being very short in terms of time. This isn't like the 2014-15 bear market or the 2018-2019. This one is, I'm expecting a run-up to begin again by July. So either we have already bottomed at that $30,000 price, or there might be one more low in the mid-20,000s, but that low, is if it comes, it will come soon. So my view is, by mid-July, we've started the new bull market.
Yeah, that's very interesting. A lot of analysts have kind of talked about a similar comparison to 2013 or 2014 in that second legged up cycle. What do you think price prediction we finish the end of the year at?
I think the end of the year is going to be approximately 100,000. The reason why it's challenging is because prices can go up quickly. So to me, end of year 100,000, but plus or minus 25,000 within 1 to 2 months. So that means we could be at 75,000 on December 1st, or we could be at 75,000 on January 1st, but over 100,000 by the end of January, because we're going to have that momentum. So I'd rather say that somewhere between 75K and 150K is the trajectory for the next, that second bull run, and that can top either at the end of this year or as far out as next summer.
Love to hear that, love to hear that. One thing that's been, kind of noteworthy over the last couple of weeks is, like you said, the speed of which we found this bottom. So what do you think were some contributing factors into why this market corrected so steeply, so quickly? And what do you think the odds are of that happening again if we go into the 65K range?
I think the biggest contributor was the altcoin space. A lot of money piled into useless coins. And when everything crashed, those coins crashed a lot, and not enough of that value went into Bitcoin. So I think that that was a big combination. And also Elon Musk certainly didn't help.
Yeah, not a fan of him anymore. But one thing I think that, a lot of people are wondering is, what is the likelihood of another correction? If we go up to 75K, are those alts going to go up with Bitcoin? And are we still at risk of a correction because of these kind of alts without utility that are still pumping in price?
Absolutely. So I don't see the next stop at 75K. I see the next stop above 100. But these recent actions in the altcoin space that have absolutely no utility, contrary to what the money printers of those coins tell you, is that I am now pretty damn certain that wherever we top next we're going back to an 80% correction. I was hoping to avoid future 80% corrections if people would get smart and only focus on Bitcoin, which actually has real utility. As long as the altcoins are rising faster than Bitcoin, we have not gotten out of the big crash. But that also could mean we can see a $250,000 Bitcoin, a $500,000 Bitcoin before the next halving, but then an 80% correction will take it back down below 100K.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of analysts predicting a similar correction. You're an OG in the space. You've been around through several market cycles. And what I've seen is when we go parabolic, it happens very fast. So do you have any sort of time range? How fast do you think we could go up to 100K? Is that going to happen in a matter of weeks, months?
Weeks to months. I'm pretty confident we're going to 100K either by the end of this year or early next year. The question is, how fast do we go from 100K to a $250,000? And that could also happen in a matter of months.
One last question that I have for you, Tone. Sorry.
And I was going to say, and this is coming from a guy who was a bear for over 2 years, from January 2018 all the way until the March crash of COVID. I was telling people that we're still in a bear market. So if I'm this bullish, I'm not even sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing myself.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tone. And one last question I have for you. So you're predicting that we get this, parabolic price action up above 100K. What do you do when we get to those levels? Are you pulling out of the crypto market, moving into cash? Because an 80% correction, that's not something that I want to hold.
You wait for the next dip and you buy more, basically. Look, people are mentally switching to using Bitcoin as the actual currency. Governments around the world, they have no idea what's coming. I mean, they're doing their best right now to shut down the world and prevent you from having free access to travel. COVID passports are going to make it harder, everything to prevent you from ease of travel. Because here's what they're facing. They're facing the future of people being passport holders of little tiny islands that do not control what they do with their money in life, being residents of tax-free jurisdictions. And Bitcoin will give people the ability to open and start a company without ever needing a bank account. So you can have someone with a Caribbean passport living in a place like Dubai, having a global company, never needing the bank. And that's how control of money gets lost. And in that world, what do you do with it? You spend Bitcoin on the things you need. Some people need a Lambo. Some people need a haircut every couple of days to stay fresh, right? So you spend it on the things that you need, and you keep the rest in Bitcoin.
Very nice. So during the 80% correction, Tone will be getting lots of haircuts. That's what.
You can find Tone Vase at Tone Vase YouTube as well as tonevase.com. Do you have anything you want to share before we close up here? Any conferences or any other places that people can see you?
Sure. I organize a couple of events. I'm wearing one. It's called Unconfiscatable in Las Vegas. There is also Understanding Bitcoin, which actually teaches you how to use your Bitcoin. We're going to bring that to Dubai and Malta. And for you financial guys out there, Google the words Financial Summit, 2 words, and you'll find my link, thefinancialsummit.com. It's an event for hedge funds, family offices, and traders to connect the network. And that's what I try to bring, just education.
Well, thanks for having us, or thanks for being here, Tone.